Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of your I'm Not Flexible Enough yoga challenge. Today is all about your shoulders. So these shoulders can get tight when we spend a lot of time working at a computer, sitting hunched over the desk, maybe looking down at your device. So when the shoulders get tight, the chest starts to shorten, and so today we're going to try to undo all of that. And I will say that if you have any sort of shoulder injury or history of shoulder injuries, especially rotator cuff injuries, please be very mindful and cautious during this practice. I don't want you to move past a range of motion that doesn't feel good in your body. So with that, the prop that I'm going to be using for today is a strap. If you don't have a strap, feel free to grab a belt, a dog leash, a scarf, anything around your house that could serve as a yoga strap. So you won't need it to start, so go ahead and set it off to the side. We're going to start with some shoulder rolls. So take your fingertips to the tops of the shoulders, and then we're going to draw big circles with the elbows. So start by going down and then bringing the elbows forward like you wanted to touch them together in front of the body. Lift up through the elbows, bring them back and down. Good. So now make those big circles with your elbows like you wanted to draw big circles on the left and right walls, moving through as much of a full range of motion as it feels good in your body. So definitely modify by decreasing the range of motion if you need to. And right now we're just getting the muscles of the shoulders warmed up by drawing blood flow to that area, starting to lubricate the shoulder joint by initiating movement. One more. And then let's reverse our circles with the elbows. So now take the elbows back towards the back wall, up, forward, and down. So make these big circles in the reverse direction now. Drawing these circles on the left and right walls. As you stand tall, as you breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. Trying to make the inhales and exhales equal length best you can. Just a couple more. And release the arms down to your sides. Go ahead and grab that strap or whatever you're using, dog leash, scarf, belt. And I want you to take your arms really wide, so definitely wider than shoulders distance apart with your hands. And then we're going to start making these back and forth motions with the arms. So you're going to start by taking the arms up overhead, pulling on the strap like you wanted to, bring the strap really tight, and then start to bring the strap behind you, moving it down towards your seat. Now, if you're getting sticky right about here, it probably means your hands are a little bit too close, so try sliding the hands away from each other. And then you should be able to come around in a full circle. Again, if you have some sort of injury or a history of injuries, it's okay to not do the full range of motion and just come up and down. Now, if this is really super easy and you don't feel any stretch at all, that means you need to move the hands closer together on the strap. So move the hands closer together and then try again and see if you feel a little bit more of a stretch there. And then adjust accordingly until you find that sweet spot where it feels like a nice opening sensation through the shoulder, through the front of the chest, but it's not painful. So let's do about 5 more of these. So really opening wide, keeping those fists pulling apart from each other, keeping the strap nice and tight. Good. Keep those low ribs drawn in, so try not to let the ribs kind of splay out and arch through the back. Instead, draw the rib cage in, lengthen the tailbone down as you stand tall. Good. 1 or 2 more. And then we will release the strap down to the floor. We'll come back to it later, so keep it close by. So now we're going to come to the wall, and I want you to place your right shoulder up against the wall, and then take a little step away from the wall. We're going to come into a clock stretch. So your right arm is going to come up the wall at the 12 o'clock position. And we'll start here. Make sure your distance from the wall is comfortable for you. You've got a little bit of space in between your body and the wall. Standing tall, finding that long spine. And then we're going to start to walk the fingertips back behind you to come to that 1 o'clock position. If there was a big clock on the wall, you'd be at the 1 o'clock position. Now notice if your left shoulder starts to draw toward the wall, and try to keep it square. So square it up to the wall in front of you, or make it, perpendicular with the wall. So try to keep that left shoulder drawn back. And if this is too tight, if it's a little too intense, you can always kind of heel toe away from the wall a little bit to decrease the intensity. And then if you want a little bit more intensity, then you'll come closer to the wall, and that'll strengthen the stretch. All right, now let's walk our fingertips down along the wall to the 2 o'clock position. Again, breathing here, adjusting your distance from the wall as necessary to feel a nice sensation, but not pain. So pay attention to your breath here. Notice if your breathing is slow and easy, or maybe it's starting to get a little choppy, maybe it's catching a little bit. If you notice that's the case, then maybe heel toe yourself away from the wall a little bit. It might be a little bit too intense. All right, let's walk our fingers to the 3 o'clock position. So this is going to be probably the most intense. 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock are the most intense positions on the clock. So keep that left shoulder drawing back, broadening through the chest, moving the collarbones away from each other, trying to keep weight evenly distributed through the feet. Lengthen through the spine, draw the belly button in. Breathe slowly, breathe deeply. Try to make your inhales and exhales equal in length. Good, and then let's walk the fingertips down to the 4 o'clock position. Adjusting your distance from the wall as necessary. Making sure you're still feeling a stretch. Might need to get a little bit closer here as we come down towards the bottom of the wall. One or two more rounds of breath here. And then let's walk the fingertips a little bit further down, now coming to the 5 o'clock position on the clock. Keeping the left shoulder drawn back, chest is lifted, heart open. Good, and then walk the fingers all the way down into the 6 o'clock position. Now here's a fun little trick. I want you to reach both arms out in front of you and see which arm is longer. I bet it's your right arm. What? Okay, let's do the other side. So now you're going to take your left side towards the wall. So have about 6 to 8 inches in between your left foot and the wall. And then let's walk the fingertips up towards that 12 o'clock position, adjusting your distance from the wall as necessary to feel comfortable. Find your long spine, and then let's begin to walk the fingertips back towards the 11 o'clock position. So we want to keep that right shoulder drawn back, same as the left side. Firm the legs, draw the tailbone down. Lift up through the fronts of the hips. Slow, even breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose. And then let's walk the fingertips a little bit further back, now to the 10 o'clock position. Might be getting really intense for you, so you may need to increase the distance between you and the wall to decrease the intensity a little bit. Make sure your feet are hips distance apart. Standing tall, draw that right shoulder back, square the hips towards the wall in front of you. Long, slow, deep breaths. And then walking the fingers just a little bit further to the 9 o'clock position on the wall. Again, making any adjustments to the distance of your body away from the wall. Getting closer if you want to feel more of a stretch, and getting slightly further away if you want to feel less of a stretch. Or if the sensation has kind of moved into the pain realm. We don't want that. All right, walk the fingers a little bit further down. Come to the 8 o'clock position. Again, adjust your distance as needed. Good. And then let's walk the fingertips down to the 7 o'clock position. I feel like I really missed an opportunity to make a 5 o'clock somewhere joke. Dang. Hashtag regret. 7 o'clock somewhere. Doesn't work. Anyway, let's walk the hands the rest of the way down. And then let's check again. Reach the arms out in front of you and see if the arms are equal in length. What? They probably are. Isn't that crazy? All right, good job. So let's come down onto the floor now. So come onto, you can come onto the knees in hero's pose, sitting your seat on your heels, or you can come just into an easy cross-legged position, crisscross applesauce, as you teachers may refer to it as. And then take the strap into your left hand. If you don't have a strap, then you take whatever you're using into your left hand, or you don't have to use a strap at all for this one. And then we're going to reach that left arm up and overhead so that the strap is behind you. And then we're going to bend the left elbow, reaching that left hand down the back, and take that right hand now and sweep it around, seeing how high you can walk that hand up to the back. So the goal is to get the hands to meet at the middle of your back, but that's not really feasible for a lot of us because we have tight shoulders, and so we use the strap or the prop to bridge the gap. So I'll show you what that looks like behind the scenes peek. So I'm trying to walk my hands toward each other in the center of my back. The hands would meet right about the height of my shoulder blades if I was able to get them there. And if you're not, that's okay, don't be frustrated. It's just the reality of where your shoulders are at today. And some of us may be closer than others, and some of you may be like really far away, and that's okay too. There's no trophy for being able to get your fingers to touch. It's just about coming to the mat and moving our bodies, opening up, breathing into different spaces, and just practicing over and over again. And the more we practice, the more our body begins to open and the more flexible we become. So press the back of the head slightly back into that left arm. Make sure your spine is still nice and long. And then we'll release and we'll switch sides. So now take the strap into your right hand. Reach that right arm up and overhead. Make sure the strap is behind you. And then bend the elbow, dropping the hand behind the head. And take that left arm, sweep it behind, and start to walk it up the strap. Now you may notice that one side is like you're way closer than you are on the other side. So this is my tight side, so as you can see, my hands are way further apart from each other, and that's okay. No big deal. I'm going to stretch anyway because it feels good. So press the head back into the arm just a little bit. Lengthen through the spine, root down through the tailbone. And maybe as your shoulders begin to open up, you'll find that you can walk that bottom hand just a little bit higher up on the strap. And if you're super flexy in your shoulders, you may be able to actually get the bind and clasp hands behind your back. And if you can do that, then that is awesome. 2 more breaths. Enjoying the stretch. And release. Good, set that strap off to the side. We are done with it. And we are going to come into eagle arms. So we stretched the fronts of the shoulders a lot, but now we need to stretch the backs of the shoulders in that space in between your shoulder blades. So reach the arms out wide, and then I want you to wrap yourself up and give yourself a hug. So it doesn't matter which arm is on top, we're going to do both sides. So you can even reach your fingers around and maybe massage the muscles around your shoulder blades. Give yourself a little fingertip massage up and down, walking the fingers up and down the blades of the shoulders. And then you can stay here. If the hug feels nice and you don't feel the need to progress, then by all means stay here. If you would like to come into the eagle arms variation, you're going to bring the elbows a little bit higher and then start to bring the backs of your arms together, catching the top elbow inside the bottom elbow. Now you can have the backs of your hands touching, or you can tuck the fingertips inside the palms like so to come into full eagle arms for a really nice upper back stretch. So we're gonna press the elbows together. If you're in the hug, just keep holding, just keep hugging, hug it out. And move the elbows away from the body. So actually start to spread through the shoulder blades. See if you can start to wrap them around the outsides of your ribs. And then if you would like a stretch in the back of the neck, you can draw the chin slightly down towards the chest for a little bit extra. Make sure the shoulders are not hiking up really high towards the ears. So notice if you really crunched up, and try to draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Breathe into that space in between your shoulder blades. So as you inhale, feel that space behind the center of your chest expand and spread. And as you exhale, let the space around your shoulder blades soften. Awesome job. Let's release. Take the arms out wide once more, and whichever arm you had on top, just switch. So now the opposite arm is on top. Wrap your fingers around, give yourself that hug. Right now we're in quarantine, so this is the first hug you've got in a week maybe. Just love on yourself a little bit. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little massage if it feels good. And then we'll bring, if you want to progress, you take the backs of the arms together, catching the top elbow inside the bottom. And then if it's available to you, you can tuck the fingers into the palm, just like so. Awesome. So enjoy the stretch here. Again, spreading the shoulder blades, pressing the forearms and elbows together, and maybe dropping the chin slightly down towards the chest. Really stretch through that back body. Now we don't want to over round here, so don't let the the elbows drop down necessarily. We really just want to focus on keeping the elbows about shoulder height, maybe a little bit of a difference. I'm going to focus on spreading through that space in between the shoulder blades, the rhomboid muscles. And this is also a little stretch for the traps. Breathing deep. Exhale slow. Last one. And release the arms. And that's it. You're done. Just a quick little class to open up through the fronts of the shoulders, the chest, the backs of the shoulders, the upper back. And I hope you enjoyed this class. If you completed it, if you watched all the way to the end, drop done down in the comments. Let me know that you completed this class, and let me know how your shoulders feel. Oh, and let me know about that arm trick, if it worked for you. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 3 of our inflexibility challenge. You guys are awesome. See ya.